It's 4, 4:45 in the morning. Um, Yesterday was a good day. I can't stop thinking about how my mom died over tonight, and I just thought I'd start recording back in my office. I do a good job of watering on demand. Most of my plants are okay. I'm gonna Billie Jean it a little bit. There we go. No, that's Billy Idol. I remember the one thing that I wanted to talk about yesterday at my dad's house that I didn't remember yesterday when I did the video is I went to the spot that she died at, and I curled up in it. In their on their bedroom floor. I curled up on the spot that she died at. I told her I loved her and I missed her. And Dad'll be okay. I told her Dad'll be okay. I'll take care of him. And I felt such peace with that. She always wanted Dad to be okay. Her hip surgery, she was worried about him. She always took care of everybody. Now I think about my children, my husband and I. Freudian slip, good Lord. My dad and I went to the funeral home, saw her again, took pictures of her, took a picture of my dad and her together. Not like, that was my joke, was so cute, but my dad didn't think that was very funny. But I took a picture of him standing on the other side of her. And when my brother's boss paid for dinner last night, so the dinner was delivered to Dad's house. We all went over there for dinner. Stayed for, I don't know. I'm tired, but I can't sleep. We stayed for 4 hours. It's 3.5 hours. We ate, talked, and my kids, my family, we told them that we saw Granny again, and my kids wanted to see her picture from the funeral home, and my Emma saw her, and Elijah wanted to see the picture, and Allie wanted to see the picture, and Jacob didn't want to see the picture. Jacob's been trying to stuff it. On a different note, he's a high-functioning autistic child, and I think he's just going to try and ignore it. And I don't want to come down on him with it, but I'm gonna keep talking about it. No. Him and I talk in the car. So, I have to take him for a drive and see what I can get out of him. He's... Oh. My mom was really instrumental in raising all of my children. She was their second mom. Like, legit. I'm not fucking kidding. She was legit their second mom. And, you can't avoid this one. You can't. There's no avoiding this one. This is the first loss in my children's lives. This is the very first loss. We still have our dog for the last 10 years. We've lost goldfish, betta fish. I throw out plants once in a while, but they don't care. It's not a big deal. This is the very first loss that they've ever had. And it's fucking the family glue. The distant family, the extended family, me keeping in touch with anything that anybody else is doing. Glue. The glue. She's dead. There's things that she's bought for people at the house that my dad's finding. Just random little things. We were over there last night and my dad, there were 3 little necklaces in these little Avon boxes, and he asked whose birthday's in this month and this month and this month and when's their birthday, and because they're for girls, so she bought one for Emma, Sophie, and Alexis. And it's there was a package that she had gotten together for my brother, and I looked at my dad and I was like, I'll mail that, I'll take care of that. And it was everything was, she just had to go to the post office for it, and he goes, no, I'll take, Matt'll, my brother will be here to pick it up when he comes down. And put the necklaces on that, because those are his girls. It's not day 3 yet. It's day 3 in like 3 hours. It's the fucking longest week of my life. It's even longer than when I was a first mother. First time mother with my big one. He was a lot. He was an intense newborn. My mom practically lived at our house. It was her first grandchild. Second grandchild is my niece, and she's 6 weeks behind him. 7 weeks behind him. I don't know, something like that. So all these grandkids are really close in age. Really close. And she lived at her house. I remember when I was becoming a first-time parent, and my husband wanted to my mom said, so when do you want me to help out and what do I do? And I told my mom that, my husband said, no, I think we're going to be okay. I don't think we need any help. That's what he wants to do. She got hurt. She got hurt. And my dad calmed her down and said, don't worry about it. They have no idea what they're talking about. And then she was like, oh yeah, that's true. Dude, he's the kid that they invented the sleep. They what is that method called for sleeping through the night? The cried out method. I tell him all the time that, well, I tell him once in a while that I had to be his mom because he was such a headstrong, independent, like, I'll tell you what the fuck you're doing child, that all I came at him with was, oh, bring it, babe. Oh, I was just a wall. I wasn't gonna have his bullshit. I still don't take his bullshit. He's big now. And, yeah, I had to be his mom. Because he would have run over anybody else. And he also would have scared them from having any children. Because he was a lot. He was a lot. But he's a really awesome person. He's really awesome. All my kids are really great. They're incredible people. And my mom was so proud of them. She was really excited to see what they were going to do in their life. And now they won't. She's not going to see that. I don't think I've gotten to the anger part of grieving yet. I can see myself be pissed at her for dying. I always wondered why people wouldn't get mad at the ones that died in therapy. They fucking left you. Why aren't you pissed? They weren't gonna go there. I could get pissed at her. Yeah, I can yell at her. I don't think I'm there yet. But I'm not a graceful flower with the words. And I fucking cuss in front of her anyway. Who I am on camera is who I am in person, is who I am in therapy, is who I am as a parent, is who I am at church. Legit. I've dropped fucking church. I try to be as authentic as possible. But I still don't know if I want to tell my clients. Because I don't want them to feel like they have to care for me. That's a really weird situation I'm in. I don't want to find myself in a time that I just can't keep it together and they don't know why. So having some preemptive strike of like having an idea of holy shit, she's having a day. But I don't want them to worry about me. I don't want them to I don't know yet how to navigate that one. If any helpers watch this and try to find that out too, then I haven't figured that one out. Sorry, I don't know. I've only had one day of work, and I haven't even been back to my full-time job yet. My supervisor did ask me if she could tell people what happened, and I said yes. I lead a group with my coworker every Tuesday for 2 hours. Which just started, by the way, which means if I were to leave my full-time job, they'd be in the middle of this. They need 2 facilitators. It takes training to do this group. And I would leave him fucked. And we're in the middle of our first cohort. I can't go. I can't go. Not yet. I'm working on it. I'm gonna, there'll be a day when I can go. It's just not now. But she's going to tell everybody what's going on. And I messaged him and I said that that my mom died and I won't be in for Tuesday. So he's gonna facilitate on solo that day. We have Monday the 20th off for a holiday with my job. And I'll be back on Tuesday. I've got to get life back to normal. I also don't want to stuff this shit. I don't want to stuff this shit. I'm worried about my son. I feel a little better about my dad. My younger brother is going through worst case scenarios and thinking he needs Meals on Wheels. He doesn't. On a different note, my younger brother has not been around the family very much for the last ever. So his mindset is worst case scenario. I think he's going through a lot right now. He stuffs his emotions deep. He's been talking to me about it. And I don't want him to stuff this either. I don't think he can. He told me he can't stuff it. Box it. Boxes things. I don't want Jacob to box it either. My son, high-level autistic, she was instrumental in teaching him how to self-regulate his emotions. When he would emotionally just lose it, he was like 4, and he would just lose it. 2 to probably 7 or 8. He would have tantrums for like 30 minutes, full on. Just boom, like the emotions hit him and he just like his life flats out. And she would pray with him. they would talk about Jesus and how, and that would calm. And she was such a huge spiritual leader for my children. She was a huge spiritual leader for me. I would tell her something and she'd want to pray on the phone. I don't know what it is, but I've always felt weird about talking about Jesus with my children. I don't even talk about it with my husband. It's like this personal, like, you just don't go there thing. And it shouldn't be that way. I just want my Jacob to be okay. She would take him to speech therapy every Friday, and they would talk, and he would make her laugh. And I told him I don't know what we're gonna do. He's on hold right now. He was supposed to go last night. Last week, she was supposed to take him, and she didn't feel good. So she calls me up and says she can't, but it's within the 2 hours of the window in the 2 hours before the appointment. And I was irritated that she couldn't do it because they charge money. Anyway, I got him on the phone last night, fucking paid it. I need to forgive myself for the times that I was irritated by my mom. She was a lot. She was a lot sometimes. She really was. There was a lot. There was quite a few times I've had to talk her out of an emotional tree. Calm her down. She had the ability to be very emotionally intense. And I would just offer her some a reality check. Not, like, old lady, get the fuck over it. But, like, it's not worst case scenario. It isn't, sky's not falling, thing. And I've done that for other people in my family too. I don't mind doing that. Looking at it from a professional standpoint and helping them out. I don't mind doing that. Professional meaning what I do, which is therapy and diagnosing and self-care, anxiety techniques. Man, there was one time she keeps talking about this leg wants to go to sleep. She had a situation that traumatized her. She thought a plane was going to land on her while driving on a freeway in California at night. I don't know how true that is. Where was I? Recently I was driving somewhere. Oh, it was up there outside of, yeah, where I was with Elijah. And I guess there's an Air Force base or a naval air station or something. And we were driving down this road, and then this big damn plane just okay, so let me go back to my mom. Every time she would see a plane above where she would be driving, if it's near an airport and it's starting to get lower and lower and lower, she would start to freak out. She knew it was irrational, but I tried to help her, like, with breathing and all that stuff. And she goes, "How do I get through this?" And I said, "You just gotta, face it. You have to tell yourself that it's not going to happen. Take some good deep breaths and just allow yourself to breathe through it and be there." And there was this plane last Friday. There was this plane that was landing in their this military base at where I live, and it was getting pretty low. I thought about my mom. This was before she died. My son was in the car. No, he wasn't. I think it was just me. And that said, I do remember saying, "Man, Grammy would love that." This is just your favorite spot right now. This big plane just. It's daylight. He knows where he's going. It's just. Man, she just be fucking it up in awe. So. I miss my mom. I miss my mom. My dad gets emotional, but I think he wants to box it too somehow. I don't know how he's gonna fucking do that. The only thing I think about when I go to sleep, all night tonight, I just kept thinking about the death rattle she had. Went to my dad's house yesterday, and I took a video. It's on there of what happened by detail in their bedroom. And she gurgled. When he said she gurgled, that's a death rattle. On the way home, picking up my family to go back over there for dinner, I didn't even know what a death rattle sounded like. He said he couldn't even replicate it. And a death rattle is when the mouth still making saliva. They call it terminal secretions. And the throat can't swallow. So they're breathing through this saliva. And it's like a bubbling sound. I had to hear it online. I had to know what that sounded like. And then I decided at that exact same moment if I was ever going to make a horror movie. Whatever was going to be hunting the kids in the forest or whatever. Every fucking movie has teenagers that die. Why wouldn't they, right? the sound that monster would make would be the death rattle. I think that's fucking terrifying. I just can't stop thinking about how she died. I've done lots of therapy. I've been into therapy since 2010. And I've not once had anybody tell me anything that was that I took with me later. I've had therapists tell me that they've had one, there was one story that was so detailed that it bothered them at night for a while. I've not had that situation with therapy. This bothers me at night. I see it. I'm in it. I was on the fucking phone. It's gotta be close to 5 now. No, it's 5:15. So guess I'm gonna go now. I did remember what I wanted to say last night was I cuddled on the floor where she died. I assured her that Dad would be okay. I took her perfume, the one that I think I smelled that night when I was sleeping. I haven't smelled it again. She had a perfume I bought her and she put it by the door so when she would leave she would just let it go. And I took it. Dad said take it. And I said, don't you want it to remember her by? He goes, I don't even know what that smells like. So if he doesn't have any memories with it, probably won't matter. I smelled her coat yesterday at their house. She was my children's second mom. This is our very first big loss. What a fucking loss. What a way to go. When Jacob was 6, I feel really bad about this. I actually do really feel bad about this. I apologize to him too. I didn't see my kids as little when they were little. When they were actually little. Jacob was tall. He wasn't fat, but he had some. My 2 boys were always concrete. That's what my pediatrician always said. They're just big, like just physically heavy in their bones, in their body. They're just, they're just boom, put on the earth. They're concrete children. And when he was 6, I took him to Magic Mountain for the first time. And I thought, well, mind you, I was in my 30s. I think I was like 34. No, it's 33. It's 33. And no, I was 34. Anyway, I took him on Goliath first. He had no idea what Goliath was. But I thought if we're gonna make this day really good, we gotta prison yard it and do the big one first. Just take him down, and then anything else after that is small. And he was so little. He did it. But I feel really bad about putting him through that because this is a Goliath life situation where it's just this is the big one first. You know? I've had a child after that experience, and she's 8 now, and I can't get her on what our equivalent to Goliath is out here. I don't want to get her on that. I don't want to do it. Not to mention my oldest was in 8th grade, and I went down with them. They did a Magic Mountain trip, and I was in the middle. I think it was like 30. I think at this point I was like 36. So my babish was a year old, and he's in 8th grade. 8th grade trip, right? Big deal. No school. Go to amusement park. And I go, and in the middle, on the track of Twisted Colossus, when they switch, they go from one track to the next, and then they finish up. At the switch, I thought, this is the first time I've ever thought in my entire life, in my head, I'm too old for this shit. I'm not having fun. I don't want to be here. Too old for this shit. And now my 8th grade girl is wanting to get on some big things. My husband doesn't do that. He gets motion sickness. Jacob will put up with it, but if he had a choice, he would prefer not to, and I can't make my big kid do that anymore. He doesn't want to ride any more roller coasters. So it's down to me. And I hang on, and I just stay calm, and I breathe, and I keep my eyes closed. I keep my eyes closed the entire time, because I think if I'm going to die, I don't have to look. Nope. It's been an awesome 43 years. Good job. I'm gonna die with my eyes closed. Oh, she's now getting into the upside downs. She didn't want to do that before. This is my longest video I've ever made. It's a good one. I have to talk to Jacob. I need him to know that I'll get him somebody to talk to. I will. I've told them all that. Whatever you need. It doesn't have to be me. I'm not going to impose myself on them. Just because of what I do. It's fuck bullshit. Absolutely not. So, Saturday, see what day 3 does. Okay. I'll talk to you later. Bye.